60% of individuals never go back to their pre-injury performance levels after an ACL injury. That means that they are not confident after they come back from ACL rehab to go back to the field or the court or whatever sport it is that you're interested in. Another shocking stat is that 30% of individuals end up re-injuring that same side within 2 years. If you're someone that's coming back from a knee or ankle injury, these stats are shocking. Because right now, you don't want to just come back. You want to come back with confidence, with strength, and with a vision. You want to feel like yourself again. Here's the problem though. You've finished your rehab, you've been cleared by your surgeon or your physio, and you just don't feel like you're ready, right? There's the mental aspect of it, there's also the physical aspect. Hi, my name is Josh. I'm a physical therapist and performance coach for 10 years. In these times, I've worked with lots and lots of people, probably thousands at this point, of clients of all ages and levels. I've helped people in the professional levels, including basketball. I've helped people in semi-pro, recreational, even just the general population group. And this is what I see. I often see the same things happen over and over again. You would not believe the amount of people that I see in person asking for the same thing. And it's usually something along the lines of, 7-8 months post-operative ACL, or someone who's had a knee injury from 5 years ago, and all they want to do is play basketball, and they just want to be going hiking with their kids, and they just don't feel like their knee is ready to go. After working with all these people, I found common denominators, and I'm going to list them down into 3 things. So we've got the gaps from injury to performance. 3 things. Number 1, let's talk about traditional PT. PT meaning physical therapy. So traditional PT. Now, I've been a physical therapist for almost a decade, right? So I went to PT school way back, 2014, so almost a decade now, right? I've been in the private space, I've been in team settings, I've seen a lot of things. And what I often see is the same thing, right? PT school, we're so good, we're taught to essentially get you back to function, we're getting you back to baseline, getting you out of pain, and once you kind of get to that point, there's no further progressions. If that doesn't make sense, think about your ACL case or an ankle injury that you've had. You probably feel fine living life, walking about, going about your day, getting groceries, maybe going up and down the stairs feel okay. But when you have challenges like running and sprinting and potentially playing a sport, those are all things that are very dynamic and needs a little bit more of a different approach, essentially. See, where this traditional PT model fails us is that we often don't see past beyond the functional stage. And this is why I created Context Performance and Health, is to help really bridge that gap between injury and performance. And what this truly means is understanding the context of your health, your lifestyle, and your goals, and making you a structured plan to make sense of that, right? So for example, let's say you want to go back to playing soccer, right? And you're this 28-year-old male and you had an MCL or a knee injury about 8 months ago. You've been cleared by your surgeon, you've been cleared by your physio to say you can go back to sport and, good luck. They essentially kind of wave you off and leave you up to it, right? And so you go back to sport, you go back to playing soccer, and you just don't feel like you're confident. Something is wrong and you don't know how to put a finger on it. What I often see in my clinic is that I often see these type of people with these types of cases where they're not sure what to do next, or they're unsure if this is even a thing where somebody could help them. And honestly, like 9 out of 10 times, I've been able to help them just by listening to what the situation is and understanding that soccer is a much more demanding activity than life. So soccer is going to take a little bit more, particular types of training or maybe exercises. That's just, a little bit more than just the basic, banded knee extensions or squats, right? It's going to take a little bit more lateral type drills, more reactive strength, more power development, learning how to control the landing. That's a big one in rehab. Those are the kind of things that we often see that's missing from the traditional PT model. So hopefully that makes sense. Going to number 2, accountability. So accountability, think of it this way, right? Think of the highest levels of athletes and performers in the world. So whether you're an actor or a high-level CEO, you have coaches, you have people around you that's on your team that is going to motivate you, but also keep you accountable every day. Life can really pass us by. I'm sure you know that. It's about making sense and being intentional with your actions to achieve your goal. So for example, if you're trying to get back to that soccer that we were talking about earlier, it's sometimes not always motivating to exercise every day. I get it. Like, I have to do the same thing as you. It really helps when you have someone in your corner, someone in your team to constantly motivate you and keep you accountable. Check you in. Hey, how's that program going today? And have you done this yet? Have you tried this progression? It really makes a difference when somebody's on your team, somebody who knows what they're doing, that can take you feeling unsure, feeling like, oh, maybe I need to modify this exercise because I'm not sure if it'll hurt my knee or my ankle. Being able to have access to that every day is a crucial, important part of it, right? So you want to make sure that you have people in your corner, like good coaches, to really take you through from this injury phase all the way back so you can confidently go back to soccer. So accountability is a big one for motivation. And last but not least is going to be tracking. Tracking kind of ties in with accountability, right? Tracking just means, how do I know I'm improving? How do I know that I'm getting better? This will keep you motivated as well because you are seeing the progress, you're seeing the trends that you're improving. Now, this can look like in many different ways, right? So if we're talking about online coaching, which is what we're doing, for example, we can do things like subjective. So seeing how you feel with things. Pain is a metric that we can use. We can also use feelings of strength or stability. Oftentimes when we get people on our program, they often feel more motivated because they always say things like, I've never seen any of these exercises before. I really like them. I enjoy them. I do feel stronger. And I've started to notice it in my day-to-day. I'm going down the stairs much easier. I can actually jog with more confidence and more of a bounce. Second thing is technology is getting really good. So we can track progress through apps, right? So one of the things we use in our app is you can plug in all your weights, the things that you're doing week by week. Now the exercises might look the same from week 1 to week 2, not because we're trying to bore you, but because we need consistency. Your body needs to learn that it's doing the same things over and over again. And with that, we can then see week 1 you are doing 25 pounds and week 2 you're now able to do 30. That in itself is progress for strength, right? Now, I won't go into the deep details of tracking, but there's a lot we can do from an app and technology. We can review your techniques. We can look at some of the other metrics that we want you to do. There's things like hopping and distance and height, like jump height, for example. There's many ways we can be creative with it. Technology is in our favor, and more than ever, there's more and more things to make things more accessible. So all in all, I just wanted to say that you are in control of your health. You are most likely able to get back to your sports safely, confidently, and effectively. I've helped over hundreds, almost 1,000 people at this point get back to that level that they want to. And it just sometimes needs a different approach than the traditional model. So give it a chance, right? Have the conversation, have a chat with us and see what you could be missing. There's sometimes things that you never thought of, and talking to someone who has done this over and over again can really help expand your perspective. So hopefully that makes sense and informative. This is to really give you motivation. And I'm going to put some testimonials that I've had with many of my clients that I've dealt with in the last decade in this video, so you can see that I'm not just kind of talking my my mouth off, but really it's to inspire and give you some hope so that you can be confident in what you're doing. So hopefully that makes sense. We'll talk to you soon.